Third suspect in a Winchester shooting that injured 3 people and killed a woman is appearing before a judge for the first time.
Surveillance video released today shows a Kentucky police officer involved in an accidental shooting.
A round of light snow is on the way to parts of central and eastern Kentucky. We'll put a track on that and talk about the bitterly cold air that follows just ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. It is a frigid start to the work week, and temperatures are expected to only drop even more as we head into this week.
Yeah, and with that Arctic chill, we will see a few chances for some snow. WKYT's Chris Bailey is tracking those chances for us on the First Alert Defender. Good afternoon, Chris.
Yeah, we're seeing that round of cold on the way this evening. The next round, as Sam mentioned, is really going to take center stage. It's going to at least be on par with some of those brutal shots we had last winter. Between now and then, some snow beginning to break out to our northwest. Live First Alert Defender, nothing across Kentucky. Though, look at that little streak of snow and watch how quickly it is making its way across Illinois and Indiana, and it has a lot of friends back to the northwest of it. That is an Alberta clipper. It originated up in Alberta, hence the name. It is a clipper because it is moving at such a rapid pace. Now, it's only going to impact parts of the region as we go into later tonight and early on Tuesday. So the best chance to pick up on some lighter snows tonight will be the farther north that we go. Maybe northern parts of Harrison County, Carlisle, Flemingsburg, and north could pick up maybe upwards of an inch of snow. Closer you get to the Ohio River, a couple of inches. Into the area I've shaded in blue from the Covington-Cincy area north, hey, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow. Notice the majority of our area south of this white line, nothing expected, though I've got at least the chance for a little light snow making it as far south as parts of the Lexington Metro coming up later tonight. But mainly light snow to the north, then the bitterly cold air tumbles into town. We are flirting with negative numbers for the actual thermometer readings. But guys, coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how the wind chill numbers will go way below zero and how that is what we're more concerned with.
All right, Chris, thank you. The third person arrested for the murder last month of a Winchester woman appeared for the first time in front of a judge today.
Just 2 days before Christmas, police say that 19-year-old Amber Cottle was hit by a stray bullet that was fired from an apartment above hers. We're tracking the case. WKYT's Mark Barber's in Clark County. It's our top story at 4:30.
Aaron Staley is charged with murder and first-degree burglary in connection to a Winchester shooting that injured 3 people and killed a person. Staley didn't say much during his first court appearance, and he did not enter a plea. When we tried to talk to the 18-year-old while he was being taken back to the detention center, he refused to answer our questions. Staley, you're accused of killing a 19-year-old boy. He is charged with murder and first-degree burglary. Police say they searched for Staley for a little more than a week after the fatal shooting. We're told he was picked up in Madison County after investigators released surveillance photos of him. Today, we are learning more about the 18-year-old who is accused of murder. According to court records, the Richmond teen was convicted 2.5 months ago for fleeing or evading police. Also charged in last month's fatal shooting is 20-year-old Lamont Wilkerson and 18-year-old Lillian Barnett. Wilkerson is charged with murder and burglary. Barnett is charged with complicity. According to police reports, on December 23rd, Staley and 2 other men broke into an apartment at the Summit Apartments on Oxford Drive. Investigators tell us during a gunfight, a bullet flew through the floor, hitting 19-year-old Amber Cottle in the apartment below. Her fiancé called 911 and performed CPR, but the EKU student died from her injuries. Staley will appear in court again on Wednesday, along with Barnett and Wilkerson. A judge says if a public defender hasn't been found to represent him by then, Staley's case will be delayed. In Winchester, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Cottle's friends tell us that she was planning to marry her fiancé soon and even had the wedding dress picked out.
Police are investigating the second deadly shooting in Perry County in less than a week. What police call a fight between a father and son ended with the son dead. It happened late Saturday night in the Viper community. Mitchell Grogg talked with another member of the family and a neighbor and the father of the son.
A gravel road where crisp brown leaves blow in the wind and a creek runs nearby. Police say a deadly shooting happened Saturday night.
It was a terrible blow. Although in the vicinity we've had accidents.
That blow came in the death of 51-year-old Tommy Rice of Viper. Police say he and his father Bernard Ray argued. One neighbor here on Plumford Branch Road who did not want to go on camera called this a tragedy, saying that the elder Rice was always helping his son out and that the father and son often helped whenever the neighbor needed it. We spoke to one relative who did not want us to identify him.
I had meant to visit him there even before this happened, but I put it off and didn't do it, and that made me a little mean on myself for not visiting him and talking with him.
Bernard Ray Rice faces a manslaughter charge. The relative says Tommy had a troubled past.
After the initial investigation by detectives at the scene, and then contacting and communicating with the Perry County Commonwealth Attorney, it was decided that a charge of manslaughter second would be imposed on Bernard Ray Rice due to this incident.
Troopers say other reasons behind the charge are not being released because the investigation into what happened in this area continues. In Perry County, Mitchell Grogg.
Rice was scheduled for an arraignment at 2 today. He declined our request for an interview from jail.
More than a dozen people are in jail after police say they discovered a cockfight. State police said an anonymous tip led state troopers to a barn in Clinton County near the Tennessee border. Troopers say they found a cockfight in progress. 23 chickens were removed from the barn. 15 people were arrested, 14 of them from Kentucky and 1 from Illinois. 6 of the people arrested are from Monticello. All are charged with animal cruelty and criminal trespassing. A Kentucky police officer is recovering after accidentally shooting himself. We want to warn you that some of our viewers may find this next video disturbing. This is surveillance video released today of the accidental shooting. Cincinnati police say that Erlanger officer Daryl Jewett's gun fired as he was adjusting his holster in a parking garage elevator. That bullet ricocheted off the elevator walls before hitting him in the stomach. His injuries are described as not life-threatening. Officer Jewett is a 25-year veteran of the Erlanger Police Department. He was off duty at the time. Fayette County students were back in class today after a Christmas break.
It was also the first day back on the job for Interim Superintendent Marlene Helm. Rebecca Smith was there as she met with employees and students.
Dr. Marlene Helm was interim superintendent of Fayette County Public Schools about 10 years ago and is in the position until a replacement for Tom Shelton is found. He resigned last year. A state audit cited problems between his office and school board members who now have the task of finding the permanent leader of the district.
We need to provide the auditor with monthly updates, and we need to make some progress there.
Dr. Helm says redistricting, the achievement gap, and student performance are all challenges she expects to tackle head-on this year. Now, a letter was sent out to all parents of students at Fayette County Public Schools. Dr. Helm says it's this kind of thing that is needed to establish open communication between school administrators, staff, teachers, and parents of students.
We've been entrusted to make sure that their children are receiving just a world-class education, and in order to do that, we've got to constantly be changing, and change is hard.
In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Dr. Helm is not being considered as a permanent replacement. The earliest a new superintendent could start would be July 1st. Lawmakers are arriving back in Washington, where the 114th Congress will be sworn in Tuesday.
And with Republicans in control of both houses, new battles over the president's immigration policies and old ones are already taking shape. Craig Boswell reports from Capitol Hill.
Republicans say they will use their increased leverage now that the GOP controls the Senate and even more seats in the House.
The president is going to have to decide to come work with us.
Likely first up on the list of legislative items, the Keystone XL pipeline. 2 separate sections running 1,700 miles would carry oil from Canada to the Gulf Coast of Texas. The White House has not supported the project, but Monday stopped short of issuing a veto threat.
We'll see what the legislation actually includes before we start urging people to vote one way or the other.
Republicans say the Keystone project will create jobs. Democrats insist they're only temporary.
They're appeasing a few special interests, in this case oil companies and pipeline companies.
While the GOP will be in control of both houses, there is hope the early days of the 114th Congress could produce some agreement between the two parties on a handful of key issues.
Economic security, dealing with some tax reforms, with the debt issue that is out there.
But Republicans appear ready for a showdown over immigration. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee says her party will respond quickly to the president's action extending temporary legal status to millions of undocumented workers. Greg Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
It is traditionally a common New Year's resolution, get fit.
Our Dan Stevens is out and about today at Strong Shop Fitness with how they're trying to help out. Hey, Dan.
She said drop it down and press it up. This is no joke, guys. Good afternoon from Strong Shop Fitness. I'm worn out. Somebody help. Is that how most people feel, Josh Sato, when they get into the gym after they haven't been there?
That's how everybody should feel when they leave.
When they leave, and don't give up is the key, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Keep at
I'm
it.
giving up. Tell me, what is the Rip Stick? What is this all about?
Well, the Rip Stick's also made by TRX, and it's really good in using it along with our programs. We do a lot of core work with this. The bungee cord really presents a different type of resistance than what we use with anything else, so people seem to really like it.
Yeah, and something, I mean, these squats are killer. I'm out of breath.
Well, squat's one of the most functional movements that you can do in the gym, and it really engages your core, you use your glutes, you use your quads. So it's a really helpful exercise when you're trying to tone up.
Gyms these days, they aren't just about ellipticals and treadmills.
Right.
You guys have all kinds of things in here.
Right.
What do we have here?
Right here, we have the battle ropes, and it's really a great way to incorporate some cardio into your workout, especially for people that might have knee or hip problems, because it doesn't really use your legs a whole lot.
Okay, tell me what to do.
Just right there, you're just going to come straight up and down, bend your knees just a little bit. Now go as fast as you can. Really try to get that heart rate up.
Well, that makes a big difference when you bend those knees.
Go, 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 go. There you go.
You want it faster is what
Perfect.
you're saying.
So what we'll do is we'll do these for intervals of 20, 30, maybe 60 seconds in between different exercises to help keep our heart rate up during the workout.
Okay, is that why their arms look like they look?
That's exactly why they
And
look
that's why I cover my arms up. What a great workout. Where are you guys located?
We're in Bella Reef Plaza. That's about a mile and a half just south of Man of War and Palomar there. So, you know, we're just down the street from South and Christian.
And you don't do gym memberships. I love that because you kind of tailor it to what everybody needs.
It's really designed to help keep the trainer, the instructor, and the client accountable for themselves. So we don't lock you into coming in any certain amount of time. It's all about you setting your schedule and your budget.
And tell folks, it's the new year. Get out and get moving, right?
It is. Make 2015 the year that you finally get in shape.
I love that. Come see the folks at Strong Shop Fitness, but make sure you don't spend too much time on that rope all at once. My arms are burning. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
All right. Well, we believe in fitness.
We totally believe it. And I love all those different things. It's great to change it up once in a while.
Mentally, it's good for you, too.
Absolutely.
Selma, Alabama residents will get to see the new movie named after their town for free.
And a groundbreaking film expected to be heavily rewarded during award season is coming out on DVD. CBS's Bagad Shaban has today's Eye on Entertainment.
Those that have gone before us say no more.
Residents of Selma, Alabama can see the civil rights era movie Selma for free beginning January 9th. Producer Oprah Winfrey says she hopes the film sparks generations to share stories of remembrance and history together. Selma is nominated for 4 Golden Globes. The Roger Ebert biopic, Life Itself, made its television debut on CNN.
Sound a little excited, Jane.
The documentary looks at the film critic's career, his death from cancer, and his influence on independent filmmakers.
He is a soldier of cinema who cannot even speak anymore, and he plows on, and that touches my heart very deeply.
Life Itself could be honored for the film industry's top award. Oscar nominations will be announced January 15th.
How was your week?
Out on DVD tomorrow, Richard Linklater's Boyhood. The film tracks the story of a family in real time. It was shot over 12 years. Boyhood has already gathered Golden Globe nominations for Best Drama and Best Supporting Actor nods for Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke. Also out tomorrow, Get On Up, the life story of James Brown. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Bagad Shaban, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Thank you. An egg balancer, a push-up challenge, and a naked burglar. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Okay, check out this guy's extraordinary talent. Brian Spots is a 2011 world record holder for fastest time to balance a dozen eggs. Now he's put all his eggs in a basket and heads to China to appear on a world record show and perhaps break the world record again. Let's hope he doesn't scramble the prize. They come up with all kinds of ways to break world records and set them.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of time. All right, take a look like this. No one fights like Gaston or does push-ups like Gaston. A man at Florida's Disney World challenged the Beauty and the Beast character to a push-up contest. Let's just say the man wasn't much of a beast in that contest. Yeah, he pretty much beat him.
And he has an Iron Man shirt on. See, we know he's an athlete. All right, a naked burglar breaking into homes in Oregon and even using someone's hot tub. Police say they found this man, Guillermo Lopez, naked and hiding inside a home in Kaiser, Oregon. Noises coming from the laundry room woke up a woman who was house sitting, and that's where police found Lopez hiding. They also found his clothes in another house that had been broken into, and there police say Lopez had used the hot tub, drank some of the homeowner's alcohol, and even took a shower. He faces charges of burglary and criminal mischief. What else? I mean, you know, what else is left? Took his clothes off, left him in one house.
Yeah, quite a night.
Here.
Big night, big night.